looking for a rifle scope, not sure which one to get, looking at PRS, hunting, combination. Well, if you're a little bit more of a hunter than a competition shooter, I think I found the answer for you. Today we're talking Genesis X 5-20 by 50. First focal plane from AKRA. Well, let's get into it and let's chat about this scope. So if you are new to AKRA or AKRA Optics and you are not aware of the competition that they ran for this particular scope, a few months ago they opened it up to the public, saying that we need the influence or the input from the public on which reticle to use. And they had a massive amount of reticle design and magnification and scope length and everything that goes with it input into this. At the end, it was more so about the reticle than the design of the scope. The guy that won the competition was Llewellyn de Jager, who came up with the PROHunt etched reticle. And a little bit later in the video, I'll explain to you what it looks like on the inside, and I'll do a little bit of a tracking test just to show you how it works. But let's talk about the scope. The reason for this design was because of the hunters with the ultra light design hunting setups wanted a lighter, shorter, more stubbier scope, but they don't want to lose out on the reticle or the magnification. So we decided on the 5-20 by 50 to make it a little bit lighter and a little bit shorter. So the scope from the front to the back is 345 millimeters and it weighs just about a kilogram. It's 1,020 grams. So very nice, short, stubby compared to the 5-25 scopes. The major difference on this scope is this button on the side. It is no longer a illuminated reticle that you turn the knob between 0 and 10 for illumination. It is a push button. So I'll take it out quickly so you can see what the design looks like on the inside. And there we go. You have your battery on the inside and you have a push button illuminated reticle. So nice little feature there just to change it out of the ordinary like every other scope with a turn illumination. What it also does is it reduces the size of the side reticle, which makes it nice and short side to side. So good design there, fantastic feature, and I think because of this, it's going to be so much easier to use when you need it. Talking about the scope itself, elevation, we have 35 mils of travel, lockable turret, so take it up, give it a twist, let's hear what it sounds like. I don't know if you can hear that, there we go. So nice and crisp as always with all the AKRA scopes and a 0 stop embedded into the scope. You can disable it or you can set it the way you want it. So lockable turret at the top at 35 mils of elevation. On the windage, you have a total left and right for windage of 17 mils, which is excessive, but it is fantastic to have. Another fantastic feature of the scope is the parallax setting. Well, I don't know if you can see it over there, but I'll give you a picture a little bit later on or on the side here. It is all the way down to 10 yards. And it's from 10, and it goes, as we discussed in the video of scopes, it goes 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, 100, and it's got a massive range between 100, 200, and then a smaller range between 200 and 300, and then 500, and then 500 to 1,000, which is quite broad, to infinity. So a perfect scope for those close range shot, whether it's a rimfire rifle or an air gun or just your hunting rifle. So fantastic decision on the parallax and how close you can get it. So let's just talk one thing. I've actually gone and did a bit of a deep dive on the rings. If you look at buying 34mm rings in South Africa, you're in for about 1,800 to about 3.5, depending on which brand you have to buy. As with all the AKRA scopes, you get your 34mm rings included in the box, which saves you about 1,500 Rand on the lower spectrum of saving. So if you look at the price of the scope, always remember to subtract the rings because you don't have to buy it anymore. Another fantastic feature, which is also included in the box, is your flip caps. You have all your dust covers. Flip caps back and front, which is a fantastic feature, and it is included in the price. So in terms of value for money, this is probably the best hunting scope at 5-25 range you can buy on the market today. Guys, it's a fantastic scope. It works well, it's light, it's short, it's stubby, it's perfect for that light build. but it's not about how it looks on the outside. Let's have a conversation about the reticle. So what I try to do this time around is I actually put the trigger cam on the scope and I took a video of the inside. Not just to show you what the reticle is all about, what the lines and the increments mean, as well as just a small tracking test. Well guys, it was raining outside, couldn't go to the range, so I tried to do it at 25 meters on the gate of my house. But you'll see in the video how the tracking test is done and where we start and where we end up. Let's have a look at this reticle. Guys, welcome to the PROHunt etched reticle. Simplified Christmas tree reticle with a plus on the focal point straight in the middle. Fantastic for hunting, but usable for PRS. So if we look at the plus in the middle, this plus is 0.5 big from top to bottom, left to right, which means that if you're aiming in the center, each of the sides from the center, up, down, left or right, is 0.25. A fantastic value for that holdover shots that you need to take. Going down on the reticle, so we'll go from the center to the bottom of the plus, which is 0.25. We'll get the gap over here, that is 0.25 to the next, which means the first line is 0.5, the second line 0.75, and the big line is the first 1 mil. If we start at the small line over here, from the side to the side, it's 0.3 mils, which means from the center to the side, it's 0.15 mils. Also a nice holdover on the edge of that line. If you're coming to the full mil, which is a little bit of the broader line, that is 0.6 mils from that side to this side, which means from the center to the side, it's 0.3. So here's something nice if you need to measure a distance or an animal. Each number on the side here, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, from top to bottom is 0.62 mils. So if you need to measure something, that's a nice indication. It's 0.26. All right, coming back to the top, the windage, you have 0.25 increments. So as you can see, same from the center to the 0.25, 5 and onwards. Smaller lines, 0.3, big line, 0.6. The important part, does the scope track? So I've got a small tracking video here. What I had to do, because it was raining outside, I put the trigger cam on the scope. The gate was at 25 meters, but this is a first focal plane scope. So I'll be using the reticle to measure the distance and how much we need to adjust. So if you have a look over here, you can see I'm aiming on one of the red dots. The dot down here is 4 milrad, and the one at the bottom is about 8. So it'll take 4 mrad, or 4 on the scope, to get to the first dot. So let's dial 4 and see where we end up. And 4 exactly as we wanted it. So looking now that we are on 4, we'll have to dial another 4 to get to the second dot. A little bit of an adjustment, and that is so 8 mrad down. Let's go 4 up to get back to the middle, and we are back to 4. So we tracked all the way to 8, back to 4. Now let's go to the right. Go 4, and initially I thought it was at 3.7 looking on the camera, but it was closer to 4, so I ended up at 3.9. And we're going to go up to 0 on the elevation turret. I'm going to go left all the way to 0 on the windage turret, which brings us exactly where we started. If you want to rewind on that zoomed in picture versus where we are now, you'll see it's the same place. Small yet effective box test. The Genesis X 5-20 by 50 first focal plane push button illuminated reticle scope. Guys, in my opinion, worth the buy, worth the shot, with enough information to keep the reticle relevant while hunting and shooting competition. I think this is a good balance if you were looking for something to run on hunting and PRS. If you're just a hunter, it's just as good. The 20 is not too much of a magnification, but you can dial it down to a usable of about 8. The rest, in my opinion, comes a little bit small, but that is unfortunately how a first focal plane scope works, but a usable 8-20 magnification. Fantastic hunting scope. Nice, clean, crisp turrets, which is lockable, which means it won't move while you're walking in the bush. So a good combination of components on the scope. This scope currently is going for 9,500 Rand. And remember what I said earlier, your rings and your flip caps is included plus a sunshade. Guys, I think this is a bargain of a scope. I have not used this in the practical world just yet. I think it'll be a fantastic scope for a 308, maybe a 30-06 or a 223. Guys, 9,500 of pure value. Guys, if you have any questions, comment below. If you want to see something else about the scope, also please comment in the video below or in the description below. And we hope that it helped. We hope the explanation gave you something to look at, and we'll see you again. Goodbye.